At a seaside wharf in Qingdao, China, a behemoth with a displacement of 350,000 tons is waiting for delivery. It is the world's largest offshore oil factory built entirely by China. It is this behemoth that will dig out the crude oil buried in the bottom of the sea from the depth of 1,000 meters. However, this super offshore project is not used by the Chinese themselves, because this is a project that China will deliver to Brazil. It will be transported by Pioneer, the semi-submersible ship with the largest load capacity in the world, to the southeastern waters of Brazil. Cross 3 oceans and start a new journey of made in China. Brazil is one of the countries with the richest oil reserves. The oil reserves that have been explored and proven are as high as 10 billion barrels, ranking second only to Venezuela in oil reserves in South America. In order to exploit offshore oil, Brazil wants to develop the world's largest offshore oil plant. However, they underestimated the difficulty of the project. Compared with land construction, marine construction is more difficult. In addition to dealing with all kinds of extreme weather, there are also many technical problems to be solved, including the need for the selected raw materials to resist the corrosion of seawater and sea breeze. Brazil hastily started construction of such a large project, but has no strength to complete it. Frustrated, China agreed to take over the challenging project to help Brazil out of the predicament. It is also this project that made China's offshore engineering famous. Since then, China has received many global orders for offshore oil plants. Why does China have the confidence to take Brazil's order? What is an offshore oil plant and why is it harder to build than an aircraft carrier? Okay, that and more is exactly what we are going to talk about today. Compared with land, the ocean has more abundant oil and gas resources, but its extraction is very difficult and costly, and traditional extraction methods cannot meet the increasing demand for oil. So in the last century, someone proposed to develop a large-scale device for developing oil and gas resources at sea. This device is FPSO, floating production storage and offloading. An FPSO looks like a giant ship, but it is mainly used for the production, storage, and unloading of oil at sea, and it has strong mobility, just like an oil factory built on the sea, so it is often called offshore oil factory. In 2015, China signed a contract with Brazil to undertake 2 projects with a displacement of 350,000 tons, FPSO P67 and FPSO P70. However, because the difficulty is no less than that of building an aircraft carrier, many people can't help but worry, why does China dare to take this order? In fact, China's South China Sea has always been regarded as the hope of China's oil industry. It is not only China's most important crude oil trade channel at present, but also contains abundant oil and gas resources on the seabed of the South China Sea. According to relevant data, the total amount of petroleum geological resources in the South China Sea is 31 billion tons, and the total amount of natural gas has reached 16 trillion cubic meters, accounting for about 1/3 of China's total oil and gas resources. However, for offshore oil and gas exploration, this is another world-class problem. Even the United States is subject to technical requirements and dare not easily start the task of mining resources at sea. As for China, this technology started late, and the manufacturing process of offshore mining platforms is controlled by Westerners. Many accessories for offshore equipment need to be imported, which greatly affects the development of China's marine industry. Leaving this aside, the location of the South China Sea alone is enough to cause headaches. The South China Sea belongs to the Pacific Ocean, which is the most severe sea area for drilling operations in the world. The weather is changeable and typhoons are constant. More than half of them will be hit by typhoons every 12 months of the year. However, for Chinese people who are not afraid of suffering, China has never lacked the determination to face difficulties. What's more, China also has world-class infrastructure engineers. If you want to find the location of oil resources on the vast ocean, and safely exploit oil and gas resources from hundreds of meters deep, or even thousands of meters deep, it is not something that can be done by a few warships and planes, but requires an offshore drilling platform integrating drilling, power, communication, navigation, and other equipment. It must not only ensure the normal work of the staff, but also ensure the safety of the staff's daily life, which is comparable to a small sea city and is an indispensable means of offshore oil exploration. And such a big guy is handed over to Chinese infrastructure engineers to build. As early as 2012, China's self-developed deep-sea drilling platform, HAIANG-SHIU 981, was successfully located in the South China Sea, opening a channel for China's South China Sea resource exploitation. It integrates the functions of exploration, drilling, and completion. The maximum operating water depth can reach 3,000 meters, and the maximum drilling depth can reach 10,000 meters. The entire project consumed 1,900 tons of steel to create such a big guy. The total cost reached 6 billion yuan. Just when countries are still eager to get a sea fortress like the 981 drilling platform, the hardworking and smart Chinese once again brought them a surprise. For China, 981 is just a pavilion on the roadside, and there is more ahead. This surprise is the latest China-built offshore drilling platform, the Blue Whale. Just from the name Blue Whale, it is not difficult to see that this offshore drilling platform must be even bigger. There are two blue whales, namely Blue Whale number 1 and Blue Whale number 2. They can complete tasks in more than 95% of the world's waters, and are currently the semi-submersible drilling platforms with the deepest operating water and deepest drilling depths in the world. The maximum operating water depth can reach 3,658 meters, and the maximum drilling depth can reach 15,240 meters. Even the largest typhoon on the sea cannot shake the Blue Whale. Among them, Blue Whale number 1 uses a power system provided by Germany, while Blue Whale number 2 uses a power system developed by China, and the localization has reached 80%, which is also the biggest difference between the two. Moreover, Blue Whale number 2 will bring greater returns to China than Blue Whale number 1. This is because Blue Whale number 2 is equipped with a combustible ice mining system. As a new type of clean energy, combustible ice is a source of energy that countries are rushing for, and the proven combustible ice reserves in the South China Sea have reached 19.4 billion cubic meters, which is undoubtedly the largest in the world. Compared with the situation where other countries have no technology and no ability to mine, China's Blue Whale number 2 will undoubtedly bloom more dazzling brilliance. Over the past 2 years, more than 24 FPSOs are expected to be approved, valued at more than $50 billion. China's completion of the Brazilian P-67 and P-70 orders means that Chinese shipyards will rise rapidly and gradually become the main force in FPSO construction and modification. This can not only promote the energy cooperation between China and Brazil, but also enhance the cooperation between China and the countries along the Belt and Road, and open up the international market for China's high-end marine engineering construction. Therefore, its significance is very far-reaching. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below, and share your insightful ideas with other people. Hot Topics time to explore the wisdom behind the news. We will see you in the next video.